Oh, it's your standard 4-4-2 match at the Etihad Stadium. Manchester City versus Manchester United. Carabao Cup semi-final, second leg. And here with Steve. What's your thoughts on the game, Steve?
Well, we've got a decent advantage, 3-1. So you'd hope that that'd be enough to take us through. Bit worried because they've scored a few goals and they've won a couple of games here recently. But I think if we're on our game, then we'll be too much for them, and I think we can win comfortably today as well.
So if you get through, then you've got Aston Villa in the final.
That's right.
Confident?
Yeah, I mean, we've got a great record against Villa, haven't we? Home and away, I think, recently. So, yeah, I think that, to play Villa, I think won't give us any fears. I think that they might be a bit worried playing against us. Yeah. But I think that the way we've played and beat Villa comfortably over the years, I can't see them causing us too many problems if we get to Wembley.
So if we win the Carabao Cup, win the FA Cup, win the Champions League, say, come second in the league, you happy as a fan? Oh,
great, absolutely. I mean, I'd be happy if we win, the Carabao Cup and maybe the FA Cup. But obviously the Champions League, the Premier League's, I think second place is probably the best we can hope for now. Yeah. The Champions League would be nice, but of course, that's exceptionally difficult to win, and given the quality of the teams in Europe and the difficulty of the Premier League, tough games week in, week out, and a lot of these European teams maybe don't have that pressure week in, week out, and can't afford to coast a few games. You can't do that in the Premier League, so it's going to be very difficult. But Liverpool did it last year, why not? I suppose if the draws go well for us, and if we're on our A game, and whoever we play is not quite up to it, then we will stand a good chance.
Yeah, the Champions League tie with Real Madrid is obviously a nice glamorous tie.
Yeah.
Are you confident in that one?
Well, I am confident in that we're at home second leg. So I think that if we can get a result over there, and I think we can, then it's always an advantage, especially in these European games, having the second leg at home. So I think that that gives us an advantage, and I think that might just see us through.
Obviously, Laporte and Sane are back in training.
Yeah,
that'll help with the Champions League push.
Absolutely, it will. Sane is a great player, and I do hope he stays, as is Laporte, and both of them are world class. And every team needs world class players, and certainly if you're going to win the Champions League, you're going to need a full squad of world class players.
Do you think tonight's game? Do you think it'll be a nervy one?
Yeah, I do. I think that as I said before, I think United will play better than they did last week. I don't think they could play much worse in the first half, but I do think they do tend to play better against us at our play recently than they do at Old Trafford. So I expect a better game, but as I say, we've got a 3-1 cushion, and if we are on our A game, and I've got a feeling United will score, but I think that if we're on our A game, we can outscore them and progress to the final.
No problem. Thanks, Steve.
No problem.
Enjoy the game.